Hey there, my name's Nader Najad. I make videos for immigrants and people moving to Canada, as well as international students, or even people who are already here in this country and want to learn how to launch up like a rocket, like work online, earn passive income, or even use Canada as a platform to travel the world. So subscribe if that's you and ring that notification bell. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why immigrants leave Canada. And although I'm not an immigrant, I'm pretty plugged into the community. I have a lot of immigrants a part of my YouTube community and a part of my Instagram following who ask me questions about moving to Canada. And I'm here to help you, to make this journey clearer and to assist you so you never have any anxiety throughout the process. So let's get started. These are 5 reasons why some immigrants will leave Canada. And I was recently at the Nova Scotia Immigration presentation at a Human Resources Standing Committee. And that's a whole bunch of mouthful shalama-flam. But basically, we were at this presentation put on by the Immigration Office talking about why people want to move to Nova Scotia and how it stimulates the economy. But we also touched on the factors that cause, immigrants to leave. And I researched this a little bit more, and I've spoken to some other YouTubers who are doing similar topics. And here are the reasons we've compiled. So first of all, it's the obvious. It's really cold. It's really cold in Canada, and it's not cold all year round. Summers are great. Spring is like really nice. We have like nice sun, nice wind. It's very temperate and beautiful. But when we look at, other seasons like winter, it's harsh and it's long. It can last. It can last. Like it can feel like winter for like 7 months in some cases. So because look, you're coming in like November, it's starting to feel like winter. You have December, January, February, sometimes in like March, and like it's April right now, and sometimes we hit -2 or -1. Now it's generally a +5, but it dips, right? So it gets really cold, and sometimes it's too long for people who have come from much warmer climates, and it's not the only factor, but it's a very big factor as to why some people leave. The second reason as to why people leave is they expect to make more money when they come here. So people coming from other parts of the world always see Canada as the land of opportunity, which it is. We have many great things that you can enjoy, so many great opportunities, but at the same time, some people expect to come to Canada and within a few years be really living it up. They have this idealized version of the Canadian dream, and when they finally come here, they realize, hey, you know what? I'm not making as much money as I thought. I'm still driving a beat-up car, or maybe I'm just using public transport. I don't have much money. If I, eat out too much, I can't pay my bills. I'm not really enjoying and living that Western lifestyle I expected. If I was back home, I'd be surrounded by family. I'd be able to, kind of spend more frivolously because in my country things are cheaper, and I have that support system. So there are lots of people who come here and they say, okay, Canada's too expensive, or I'm not actually making as much money as I anticipated, I'm going to go back. The third reason is some people come here to get their PR and leave on purpose because they have better opportunities back home and they realize that. So I had some friends who came here from Kuwait. Their families own large businesses on the other side of the world, and they decided, hey, I'm going to come to Canada. What am I going to do? Get a job in IT? No, I'm going to pick up my PR. I'm going to study. I'm going to study as a student first, get that done. I'm going to pick up my PR, and then I'm going to go back home. And while this is okay, I honestly think it's a waste of time. And just hear me out on this. Having a PR is obviously valuable. I get it. I understand having PR or even multiple citizenships is very valuable. As a Canadian and British citizen, I understand the advantages and the luxuries that I have by being afforded that privilege. But at the same time, if I were to spend 4 or 5 years of my life to study a degree that I wasn't going to pursue at all, let alone in that country, just to go back and run a parent's business, it's not really going to be the best use of your time. You could have been mentored by them and made a lot of money within the last 4 or 5 years, because school actually teaches you how to get a job. That's actually what it does. It teaches you how to be good at a career. And while you may be able to pick up management or commerce skills, they're not as transferable as you think. So you may just be wasting some time here to just pick up your PR and leave if you're never coming back. But then again, who am I to judge? Maybe there's some other person advantages, which I know there are. So that's another reason. Reason number 4 is the culture. A lot of people come here and they don't expect the culture to be the way it is. It looks like the smiling land of opportunity with, everybody just having a happy time and welcoming you with a Canadian flag in the background. Well, that's true in a sense. But at the same time, Canadians And this is kind of controversial, can be kind of cold. And as a Canadian living in Canada for over the past 20 years, I understand what Canada's like. And while Canadians aren't outright cold, they will smile at you, they're nice in public, it's very hard to cut beneath the surface level. So while in other countries you can just generally say whatever you want, in some countries you can be more open, you can ask more personal questions. It's a little bit harder in Canada. When you come from somewhere else and there's a bit of a language barrier and you don't even, you're not even fluent in English, it's much harder to actually break that level. So actually I would say combined with that, I'd say one factor is loneliness. A lot of people feel lonely and they don't actually integrate with the culture very well and build that community around themselves, and they just, like, all those other factors that I mentioned come into play, and then they may leave as well. And now the fifth reason, the English language. Now some people come here and they don't want to learn English. They don't want to learn English, and that's hard. It's going to be very hard for you to be able to get a good job if you don't speak English. If you, like, to be honest, the fact that I can only speak some French and I'm not fluent in French actually puts me at a disadvantage. So if you're bilingual, you have more of an advantage in Canada, and if you speak English without perfect grammar and punctuation, you're already disadvantaged. And now if you don't really speak English, you're extremely disadvantaged. Now I don't want to say that to deter you. That should actually encourage you and motivate you to learn how to speak English better if you want to come here and become successful, and like I always say, launch up like a rocket. But a huge thing you need to consider is that you need to learn English if you want to come here. If you're going to come here and expect to become successful because you have some back knowledge, you're going to come here and realize, hey, people don't treat me the way I deserve to be treated because I have a PhD. Some of you come here with a PhD. Yeah, people generally, if you don't speak English, are not actually going to see through that and understand your intelligence. And it's kind of sad, but it should push you to want to work harder. So you're going to have to learn English if you come here. It's another reason why some people leave. Well, at least a big reason. None of these reasons by themselves, by the way, are going to be like reasons why people leave. But combining them, any one of these 5 can be the largest factors. So I hope this video helped you, giving you some idea about what you should brush up on before you come here, and some things you can actually expect, so that if you're planning to come here, you're not going to turn around and leave and say, oh, I didn't know it was like that. So that's why I make these videos. I'm going international with this content. I make all this content for free. So please subscribe, smash that notification bell, and drop me a comment down below.